Welcome to Buddha Sangha. Today's Sutta is very interesting and also very relevant for each one of us on this path. This path is about being able to see reality as it is. This path is about being able to accept reality as it is. The truth of this reality is that it keeps changing continuously because nothing is permanent in this entire universe. Nothing is permanent about people, about situations, about things. Everything is constantly on a roll. And when everything is changing, holding on to anything rigidly only is suffering. It will only bring you suffering. Trying to hold on to something rigidly is like trying to hold on to hot coals of fire. It's silly. It's stupid. Any view that you hold on to, that will bring you suffering. Why? Because time changes, people change, situations change, everything changes. This is the only truth. And the one who understands this truth, he realizes that the folly is not in the view. The folly is in the holding on any particular view. Clinging to a particular view, clinging to a particular concept, clinging to a particular idea, holding on to a rigid belief, holding on to a rigid understanding. The wise one can very clearly see that the ego aspect within oneself is the one that is really holding on. There is nothing else that holds on. There are two facets within you which are always at war. One is the intellect. Second is the ego. They are always at war with each other. The ego says, that which I believed in the past, that in which I held on to in the past, that which I clung to in the past for so long, I have invested time in that. I have invested energy in that. So that has to be right. Intellect says things have changed. Situations have changed. Open your eyes and see that this is not what it used to be, or it is not what you thought it to be in the past. See the truth as it is. Ego says, no, I have invested a lot of time in my life. In fact, half my life I have believed this to be true. Now I don't want to see any other reality. Intellect says, no, but the truth is that already the seed of reality has been planted in you. And that is what is sprouting and coming to the surface through me again and again. Wake up and see the truth. It is not what you believed it to be. Ego says, no, I want to hold on to it because everybody holds on to it. Intellect says, if everybody is a fool, will you jump into the well with them? Ego says, but that guru says so, this teacher says so, this person in authority says so, this scientist says so, that is why it must be true. Intellect says, are you so dumb that you cannot see the truth? Why do you have to go with somebody else's reality? You wake up and create your own reality. Ego says, no, But intellect says, you're losing the struggle. No, I cannot lose the struggle. I have to win. I have always won. Intellect says, the truth shall always triumph. Have you noticed this struggle within you? It happens in so many different ways, in so many different scenarios, maybe in relation to people, maybe in relation to situations, maybe in relation to things, maybe in relation to material world, people, situation, things, or the spiritual world, people, situations, and things. Maybe it happens in relation to your own concepts, in relation to your own ideas, in relation to your own understanding. But we all have witnessed this struggle. This sutta is in the form of a story. This story is trying to convey something to you. So let's start reading the sutta now. This sutta is from the Book of the Tens in Anguttara Nikaya, the brown book. Sutta number 93 on page 1464. View. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's grove, Anathapindika's park. Then the householder, Anathapindika, left Savatthi in the middle of the day in order to see the Blessed One. It then occurred to him, it is not the proper time to see the Blessed One who is in seclusion. Here, seclusion is another way of saying that there was a retreat going on and there were other bhikkhus that were also in the silent retreat. Nor to see the esteemed bhikkhus who are also in seclusion. Let me go to the park of the wanderers of other sects. Then the householder, Anathapindika, went to the park of the wanderers of other sects. Now, on that occasion, the wanderers of other sects had assembled and were making an uproar as they loudly and boisterously sat discussing various pointless topics. The wanderers saw the householder Anathapindika coming in the distance and silenced one another. Sirs, be quiet. Sirs, do not make any noise. Here comes the householder Anathapindika, a disciple of the ascetic Gautama, one among the ascetic Gautama's white-robed lay disciples who reside in Savatthi. I'll take a moment here. The bhikkhus used to dress in saffron robes, and the householders who used to listen to Buddha's knowledge and practice the same sadhana as the bhikkhus used to wear white clothes. Now these venerable ones are fond of quiet, disciplined in quiet, and speak in praise of quiet. Perhaps if he finds that our assembly is quiet, he will think to approach us. Then those wanderers of other sects became silent. When you are a very silent person, you're a very calm person, very disciplined, you command respect just by your presence. You do not have to demand respect. So if you are a very silent kind of, quiet kind of meditator, other people who are not similarly silent will become silent in your presence. That is the way the silent meditator commands respect in the spiritual world. Take a moment to look at yourself. Do you command respect or do you demand respect? Then the householder, Anath Pindika, approached those wanderers and exchanged greetings with them. When they had concluded their greetings and cordial talk, he sat down to one side. The wanderers then said to him, "Tell us, householder, what is the ascetic Gautama's view?" Bhante, I don't know the Blessed One's view in its entirety. Let me pause again. If you were asked, what are the views of your teacher? You jump in and you want to give an answer. Even if you are not very sure, the feverish urge of the ego will push you to say something. Would you have the courage to say that I do not know my teacher's view in entirety? Basically, you are saying that I do not have a complete command over his complete view. So I am not an authority on speaking about the teacher's views. This is the truthful person. He takes a moment before he has to answer a question and he checks, do I really know the reality, the complete reality as it is? Oh, I don't know the complete view of anybody in this world. Forget the teacher, I wouldn't know about my own family member. So it would be wrong for me to even say that I know his view in entirety. And therefore, it would be wrong for me to answer such a question. This comes out of a truthful mind and an honest heart. Next question for you. Are you honest and truthful to your own self? So, householder, you say you don't know the ascetic Gautama's view in its entirety. Then tell us, what is the bhikkhu's view? To that he answers, Bhante, I also don't know the bhikkhu's view in its entirety. Look, this is an honest person. He does not let his ego rule the show. He lets his intellect, his sharpened viveka, rule the show. His sharpened viveka always sees reality as it is and knows that everything and everyone is changing. So how can I know anybody else's view in its entirety? I can just know my own view. And that is the real truth about views. So, householder, you say you don't know the ascetic Gautama's view in its entirety, and you also don't know the bhikkhu's view in its entirety. Then tell us, what is your view? Now, this was the right kind of question. So, he will give the right answer, whatever is his view. Now remember, this person has been following the Buddha's teachings. He has been doing the sadhana and he is completely with reality as it is, moment to moment to moment. So now let's look at his views. It isn't hard for me to explain my view, Bhante. But first, explain your own views. Afterward, it won't be hard for me to explain my view. When this was said, one wanderer said to the householder Anathapindika, "The world is eternal. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." Another wanderer said, "The world is non-eternal. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." Still another said, "The world is finite. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." Still another said, "The world is infinite. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." Still another said, "The soul and the body are the same. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." Still another said, "The soul is one thing, the body another. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." Another one said, "The Tathagata exists after death. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." Still another said, "The Tathagata does not exist after death. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." The Tathagata both exists and does not exist after death. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder. The Tathagata neither exists nor does not exist after death. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder. So now everybody has voiced their views, and you noticed they were very quick in voicing their views. They were very clear in saying that only that is true and anything else is wrong. Sometimes you have the same feeling, but you don't say it out aloud. In your mind, that is what you are also thinking, that this is only true and anything else is wrong. So rigidity may be in words or may just be hidden in your own mind. It is still a rigid view. It is still holding on to a particular view. It is still called clinging or craving for a particular idea, concept, or belief. So each of these wanderers had fixed beliefs and held on to their beliefs really strongly. Now let's see what Anathapindika has to say. When this was said, the householder Anathapindika said to those wanderers, "Bhante, this venerable one said thus." He pointed out to the first person who said about, "The world is eternal. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder." This view of his has arisen from, number one, his careless attention. Number two, conditioned by someone else's utterance. Means because somebody else in a position of authority says so, that is why I will believe so. Yeah, these are the two reasons he's given so far. He says, now this view has come into being, means it is created. It is not reality. It is created because you do not have any strong proof of its existence. Yeah? The world is eternal. Do you have proof? You don't have proof. You cannot see it with your own eyes. You cannot experience it with this body-mind complex. So, we do not really know whether it is true or not. Just because somebody in an authoritative position has said so, it does not make it right. Just because somebody believes like that and you were born in that particular environment, you get conditioned by that person's belief. That does not again make it right. Similarly, if you are careless about things, then also you would have certain irrational views like this. Yeah. So these are all created, they have come into being. That part is clear? And is conditioned. Conditioned is clear? Just because somebody else says so and that is repeated in my environment again and again, then I get conditioned by it. A product of volition, because somebody wants it to be. This is it. My ego says this is the way it should be. A product of volition. Dependently originated. Dependently originated means it has been born out of ignorance. It has been born out of another particular idea from another particular person. So it is dependent on him. Because he says so, so I believe it. Or because so many people follow it, I believe it. Yeah? Or because I was born in this particular environment, I believe it. So it has a dependency on the environment, on the person who said it, or the masses of people that follow it. So there is a dependency that is called dependently originated. But whatever has come into being and is conditioned, a product of volition, dependently originated, is impermanent. Anything that you create cannot last forever. Have you noticed that? It doesn't matter whether what you create is a house or a gadget, a mechanical object, a relationship, or an idea or concept or a belief. Even if it is prevalent in the billions of people on this planet, still it is impermanent. It will die. It will end. So, whatever is created, conditioned, a product of volition, which is ego, dependently originated, something like this, is impermanent. It is bound to destroy itself with the passage of time. And whatever is impermanent is suffering. You tell me how? Because the ego wants it to remain as permanent. But what is the truth? What is the highest reality? That everything is changing. People are changing, situations are changing, things are changing. The material world is changing, even the spiritual world is changing. The spiritual concepts change, spiritual ideas change, spiritual people change. Nothing remains constant. This is the highest truth. Impermanency is the highest truth. But the ego relishes permanency. And that's where the conflict is. That's what causes you stress. The ego says, no, there will be permanency in this relationship. No, there will be permanency in this idea, in this spiritual concept, in this spiritual organization. No, permanency in this spiritual guru. No, permanency here, permanency there. The ego keeps thirsting and craving for this permanency, running from door to door to door. Nothing is permanent. And because the ego is thirsting for that which is not possible, there is suffering. So, what does a wise man do? He recognizes this is the truth, that everything is changing. Accept the truth. Don't fight with nature. Don't fight with life. What is. It is the law. If you keep fighting with gravity, do you think you're going to win over gravity? No, you're going to lose. Similarly, if you keep fighting with the law of impermanence, who's going to lose? You know the answer. It is just suffering that he is attached to and holds to. So here Nath Pindika is saying that this person who is holding on to a particular view, he is just holding on to suffering, clinging on to suffering. He is attached to suffering. Is this super clear? The rest of the sutta will be on the similar lines. Bhante, this other venerable one said thus, the world is non-eternal. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder. This view of his has also arisen because of his own careless attention or conditioned by someone else's utterance. Now, this view has come into being and is conditioned, a product of volition, dependently originated. But whatever has come into being and is conditioned, a product of volition, dependently originated, is impermanent. Whatever is impermanent is suffering. It is just suffering that he is attached to and holds to. Very clear? The same thing applies to all of the people who are holding on to any belief. Holding on to anything is suffering. It's like holding on to a moving train. It doesn't matter whether it is a material train or a spiritual world train or a beautiful train or not so beautiful train or a Hindu train, a Christian train, a Muslim train. The train does not matter. Every train is in a state of constant motion and you are holding on to that train. So it doesn't matter what your view is, you are holding on to a view. And that holding on itself is suffering. It is not about the train. It is not about the view. It is about holding on. Is this clear? Bhante, this venerable one said thus, the world is finite. Similarly, the other one said, the world is infinite. The other said, the soul and the body are the same. The other one said, the soul is one thing, the body is another. And another said that Tathagata exists after death. Another said the Tathagata does not exist after death. And another said the Tathagata both exists and does not exist after death. And another said the Tathagata neither exists nor does not exist after death. This alone is true. Anything else is wrong. Such is my view, householder. All these views have also arisen because of 1. Careless attention, or 2. Conditioned by someone else's utterance. Now, this view has come into being and is conditioned. We understand conditioned very clearly because of somebody else's influence and me not using my intellect to see reality as it is. This is the meaning of conditioning. A product of volition means my ego wants to hold on to it. No, this is it. I am choosing this to be the right thing. And why? Because for the past 30 years of my life, this is what I have believed. Product of volition. Ego is just not ready to let go of its past investment of time and energy because it does not want to accept its mistake that it was wrong in the past. The wise person is quick to say sorry. The wise person is quick to admit his mistakes. The wise person is quick to accept, yes, I was a fool in the past. It is the egoistic one who holds on and he suffers. That is the meaning of a product of volition. Dependently originated, it has originated from something else. It is not what I see reality as is right now. Clear? But whatever has come into being and is conditioned, a product of volition, dependently originated, is impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Every idea of yours, every concept, every belief, everything is impermanent. Holding on to anything will only cause you suffering. Whatever is impermanent is suffering. It is just suffering that he is attached to and holds to. Is it super clear? Yeah. You take a moment to recognize your own views. It doesn't matter whether it is a Hindu view or a Muslim view, a Christian view, a Buddhist view. It is a view. And anything that you're holding on to is suffering. The wise one does not hold on to any view. He floats like a cloud. He surrenders to the movement of the wind. He just goes with the flow. He's neither this way nor that way. He adopts the middle path. The middle path is I do not bend to any extremism. Everything is changing. Everything is changing. What is reality right now? What I can see as the truth right now with these eyes, with this experience, with this understanding, that itself is the truth. And there is just one truth, that everything is changing. When this was said, those wanderers said to the householder Nathapindika, we have each explained our own views, householder. Now tell us your view. Bhante, whatever has come into being and is conditioned, a product of volition, dependently originated, is impermanent. Whatever is impermanent is suffering. Whatever is suffering is not mine. I am not this. This is not myself. This is my view. any view that you hold on to, any religious views, any cultural views, any geographical views, any racial views, any social views, any political views, any spiritual world views, anything that you hold on to creates clinging and craving in you, which ultimately leads to suffering because it is impermanent. So, Anathapindika is very wise. He does not hold on to any of these views. He recognizes that that which constantly changes means all these views, they are suffering, and that which is suffering is not mine, is not me, is not myself. You look within. Do you have the courage to give up all the past views and have the extreme courage to just have no rigid view at all? Can you just go with the flow? Time to do a reality check. Householder, whatever has come into being and is conditioned, a product of volition, dependently originated, is impermanent. Whatever is impermanent is suffering. It is just suffering that you are attached to and hold to. So he's saying, even you are holding on to this view that all this is suffering. So now let's see what the smart Anathapindika has to say. Bhante is just trying to trap him now. Yeah? Because he's saying, if my view is a view, even your view that everything is impermanent and everything that is impermanent causes suffering is a view, and you are holding on to it. So even you are suffering. Bhante, whatever has come into being and is conditioned, a product of volition, dependently originated, is impermanent. Whatever is impermanent is suffering. Having clearly seen what is suffering as it really is, with correct wisdom thus, this is not mine. I am not this. This is not myself. I understand as it really is the superior escape from it. He says basically, seeing reality as it is the escape route from suffering. Do you get it? There is no other escape route. If you hold on to the running train, you are going to injure yourself. The only smart thing to do is to not hold on to the running train. See reality as it is. The train is moving. And I should not be holding on to that which is constantly moving because it's going to injure me. So I have escaped from getting hurt. And what helped me escape? Not the view that is suffering, but the actual wisdom and the application of being with reality as it is the superior escape from this suffering. Clear? When this was said, those wanderers sat silenced, disconcerted, hunched over, downcast, glum, and speechless. The cunning mind that tries to trap another person will fall on its face in front of the highest truth, will fall on its face in front of the supreme truth, the real wisdom, will fall on its face in front of reality as it is. And that's what happened. They were completely silenced by this. Because Anathapindika completely practices being with reality as it is. He has not held on to another new view called being with reality as it is. There's a big difference between the two. Do you understand this difference? Then the householder, Anathapindika, having understood that those wanderers sat silenced, disconcerted, hunched over, downcast, glum, and speechless, rose from his seat and went to the Blessed One. He paid homage to the Blessed One, sat down to one side, and reported to the Blessed One his entire conversation with those wanderers. The Blessed One said, "Good, good, householder. It is in such a way that those hollow men should from time to time be thoroughly refuted with reasoned argument." I'll take a pause here. Buddha is not saying that you should argue or hurt anybody, but when somebody unnecessarily brings up unreality, then the wise man should show him reason. The wise man should show reality as it is with love, kindness, gentleness, and compassion. Then the Blessed One instructed, encouraged, inspired, and gladdened the household Anathapindika with a Dhamma talk. Then, when the householder Anathapindika had been instructed, encouraged, inspired, and gladdened by the Blessed One with a Dhamma talk, he rose from his seat, paid homage to the Blessed One, circumambulated him, keeping the right side toward him, and departed. Then, not long after the householder Anathapindika had left, the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus. Bhikkhus, if any bhikkhu, even one ordained for 100 years, in this Dhamma and discipline, would thoroughly refute with reasoned argument the wanderers of other sects, he would refute them just as the householder Anathapindika has done. If you noticed, he did it with a lot of respect. He did it very calmly, compassionately, lovingly. Yeah. Beautiful sutta, no? Yeah. You also adopt this in your life. If you have to refute, you should do it kindly, respectfully, lovingly, with this compassion that maybe I can plant a seed of seeing reality as it is in the other person. And maybe the other person can also have the right view. The right view is to not cling on to any view. I will see you next week. Apo Deepo Bhava. Be your own light.